kumbe alimpiga akapanda tu pole, hata hakuwa na haraka by the way.
Hiyo jambo iangaliwe sana, ichunguzwe.
Who really killed city lawyer Bob Charalo? For the past 24 hours, both the social media detectives and Kenya's own DCI have been locked in a race against time, retracing every move of city lawyer Matthew Bob Charalo. His final day ended not in a courtroom, not in front of a client, but in the crosshairs of assassins on Magadi Road.
Wenye walikuwa kwa gari wanasema walikuwa watu wawili. Wakati alishoot, alikimbia tu na kukalia yenye ilikuwa tayari pale juu. Hivyo ndio waliona. Wakati walipiga kelele, wakitoka kwa gari waenda wakishika hiyo mtu. Huyo mtu alikalia tu pikipiki na kuenda. Na wale wa juu wakajaribu kutoka kwa magari huko juu, tayari pikipiki imeshakata mbio. Kwa sababu pande ya kwenda Rongai kulikuwa na jamu kubwa, lakini pande nyingine hatukuwa na jamu. Sasa wakati walipiga kelele, nini unafanya? Tayari amekalia pikipiki yenye ilikuwa red pale juu. Sasa tukifika pale tunateremka, watu wanasema ashaenda. Basi watu pikipiki wanapale wanasema mtu ameuawa tu hivyo. Kwani tunakuja kuuawa pia? Sasa ndio tukaenda tuende tuone kwa sababu kumejaa. Alipofika tutapata mtu ameshika tu steady, mtu wako smart, anatoka job, amefanya nini? Amekaa ameenda.
A single bullet ended his life, raising the question, was this the price of a deal gone wrong, or the punishment for defending someone powerful enemies wanted silenced? You see, before September 9th, Charalo's name was virtually unknown outside legal circles. Unlike the flamboyant Dunstan Omari or the sharp-tongued Cliff Ombeta, Bob rarely sought the limelight. But on this day, he didn't just make the headlines, he became them. It was the same day Kenyans were still buzzing from the 5-0 victory over Seychelles at Kasarani Stadium. Yet, just as the country celebrated, two men were fine-tuning a mission of death, and their target was none other than Bob Charalo.
Huyo jamaa sasa akafika pale mbele akafyatua risasi yeye akaenda. Nikajaribu kufuata huyo jamaa. Jamaa akakuwa anafyatua kama risasi 2-3 juu. Watu wa Nduthi tukasarenda tukaachana na huyo jamaa.
The day began ordinary. Charalo, who lived in Karen, left for his office on Wabera Street, later heading to Sagret Hotel for a mid-morning meeting with still unidentified individuals. By 1:45 p.m., he was back at his office. At 5:09 p.m., he began the drive home, a routine commute that turned fatal. Unbeknownst to him, a sports motorbike shadowed his very move. At 5:45 p.m., the riders struck. They overtook his car, one dismounted, walked up, and fired a single bullet through Charalo's head. Now, the bullet gave him no chance to see his killers, no chance to call for help, no chance to say goodbye to the family waiting for him that evening. His lifeless body slammed, his car colliding into a matatu ahead.
Mimi niliona jamaa na muovertake. Kumuovertake bike ikatani. Ule jamaa mwenye nakueleza nikaona ni kama anamsnatch simu, kumbe alimpiga, akapanda tu pole, hata hakuwa na haraka by the way. Akalimpiga, akaingia tu pale kwa bike, wakamove. Bila sasa jamaa wengine walikuwa wale Nduthi wanasema, "We, huyu jamaa ameua mtu hapa hivi. Tufanya aje?" Wakaanza kumfuata kidogo. Kumfuata kidogo, mimi vile niliwasha, huyo jamaa sasa akafika pale mbele akafyatua risasi yeye akaenda. Nikajaribu kufuata huyo jamaa. Jamaa akakuwa anafyatua kama risasi 2-3 juu. Watu wa Nduthi tukasarenda tukaachana na huyo jamaa.
Panic erupted. Passers-by raised the alarm. Police swarmed the scenes, and news of the lawyer's death spread like wildfire. Social media erupted with questions about who Charalo really was. The digging unearthed details that jolted the public. The first revelation was Charalo had been entangled in the storm of the 2022 general elections. The late IEBC chairman Wafula Chebukati claimed that Charalo, together with Amos Wako and Raphael Tuju, visited him at 3 a.m., demanding he alter the results to deny President Ruto outright victory. Chebukati said they promised him hefty rewards if he forced a runoff. However, Chebukati refused, and Ruto won. The second revelation was even darker. Just 2 days before his murder, Charalo had stood in court representing Captain Kyalo Mbobu, cousin to former President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Again, we went to court, and I was represented by Professor Bob Charalo, who is a renowned lawyer. And when we went to court, he categorically stated, we are here, we want that judgment produced before court. We have no other arguments, we just want that judgment. Again, the lawyer of KCB, Philip Nyachoti, admitted that judgment does not exist.
The case was the explosive Mwiri Coffee Estate saga, a 443-acre farm worth 7 billion Kenyan shillings auctioned for just 70 million shillings. In court, Kyalo Mbobu alleged that bribes totaling to 825 million Kenyan shillings greased judicial pockets. $3.5 million allegedly wired through an offshore account tied to a former deputy's CJ's husband. Justice Isaac Lenaola accused of pocketing 1 million shillings from a law firm. Supreme Court and appellate judges accused of taking millions to uphold a dubious 1992 consent order.
And I came to learn from a friend of mine, who was my classmate, that this bench of the Supreme Court was bribed with $3.5 million. And the money was paid in Jersey, and it was paid through the husband of Justice Kaupana Rawal, Mr. Rawal, for the benefit of the Supreme Court. That Justice Lenaora received 1 million shillings in a parking lot of some supermarket, which I can disclose in camera, and that's why he ruled like that. And after that, the bank got emboldened and they sold, instead of selling my securities, the 2 farms that belonged to Benjo, which was enough to cover the loan, they sold Mwiri Coffee Estate, which was just a guarantor. Mwiri Coffee Estate is 450 acres and a coffee with 2 factories and buildings, over 100 head of cattle. It was valued, first value was 3.5 billion, but the bank sold it for 70 million to somebody called Kamresh Rahul of BD Limited. 70 million, that was equivalent to 10 acres. That's what they sold our farm, 450 acres.
2 days later, Charalo was dead. The timing is impossible to ignore. The style of execution, clinical. And the message, extremely chilling.
Fanyika jana ni jambo la kuhuzunisha sana.
The DCI says it is working overtime to hunt down the motorbike hitman. But for Charalo's grieving family, justice cannot come fast enough. They have broken their silence, demanding answers, demanding justice for a son who died not in the courtroom, but on the cold asphalt of Magadi Road.
Kuuawa na wahuni sio jambo zuri, na yetu ni kuappeal kwa serikali. Hiyo jambo iangaliwe sana, ichunguzwe, kwa sababu tunahitaji kuwa na freedom of movement. Tunahitajika as professionals, we need to do our work without fear of intimidation.